Well, shalom, shalom. This is Passover, which actually, the Passover just ended this past evening, but I realized I have not done a video for Passover, so I just wanted to briefly talk about what Passover is, and I put this down, or else I might look like an alcoholic. But Passover goes back to Egypt, the Exodus. Everybody's familiar with the story. Pharaoh, let my people go. Anyways, Passover is very unique because we are told to get rid of all our chametz, all of our leavening, anything that is yeast, any flour that may have been wet, and the ambient yeast, just yeast that's flown in the air, that may have settled on it, kind of like sourdough bread, just actually, I don't know if you use yeast in sourdough. Forgive my ignorance on that. I'm not a baker. I can cook, I don't bake. But nonetheless, you get rid of all your chametz, anything that has leavening in it, or could potentially have leavening in it. And hence why we don't drink beer during Passover. We don't eat bread during Passover. Well, leavened bread. We eat matzah, which is unleavened bread. Trying to think. No Little Debbie's. No no pizza. Even if it is kosher. Shoot, I want to be eating non-kosher pizza anyways. Nonetheless, the whole point, there's this idea, and this isn't necessarily scriptural, but that the wet wheat or any of the grains that specifically says not to eat, leavening, that don't even take the air from Egypt with you. They had this Passover meal and they had to eat it in haste. They had to leave. They were fleeing Egypt, and really, they spoiled Egypt. They had asked their neighbors, "Hey, we're going to go worship God. Can we borrow some jewelry and stuff so we look nice for the occasion?" And God made it so that they looked appealing in their eyes and in the Egyptians' eyes. And the Egyptians were like, "Yeah, sure, you hang on to this." But then, after the plague of the killing of the firstborn, the Egyptians said, "Go, get out of here," And so they left with all the jewelry and stuff, and which worked out rather well in preparing for the temple elements and everything. But they left in such a haste, and this idea that they had to bake these cakes, the bread in such haste that when they're leaving, and this is just kind of like I said, it's not scriptural, but this idea that even the ambient air, you don't even want the air from Egypt to come with you. You just leave it all behind, So if there's the rabbis have concluded over the years, that it was anything cooked in anything that you cooked that took more than 18 minutes before it got in the oven, was not kosher for Passover. Any bread had to be cooked under 18 minutes. Like I said, that's just what the rabbis concluded. What you determine yourself, well, that's between you and God. But nonetheless, I hope everybody has enjoyed their Passover, L'chaim, and Chag Sameach. And actually, this being the 8th day, that's another thing that's unique. Like a lot, all the feasts and festivals, due to the diaspora, when the Jews were left, had to leave Israel, there's this idea, that they did not always know when the feast was coming up because everything was set to what was going on in Jerusalem. So it took a while for word to get from Jerusalem out to the rest of the Jewish communities. So some of them would actually start the next day. So that's why they sometimes say there's 8 days of Passover. And actually, this day that we're in, it being the 8th day, is actually there's a special meal some people have, which is Moshiach's meal, the Messiah's meal. 8 being the number of eternity, what's to come, and which of course is Messiah. So I hope y'all enjoy, and like I said, L'chaim, and Shabbat Shalom.